Welcome to Celine Adobia, the channel, and person. It's good to be here. I'm so appreciative. First of all, appreciate those of you who have subscribed. You already know I got a place in my heart for you. Let me turn off the autofocus thing because 1, 2, 3. So I want to introduce you to the whole plant medicine quest. I enjoy sharing, and although I feel and have felt like nature is in perfect harmony at all times, there is a movement that human beings have been able to create through science. And the way I see it, you have nature and you have science, and they come together. There's a natural nature to science, and then there's a science to nature, right? They come together in this beautiful infinite dance. It's just an illusion, illusion. It's just a boom, 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 ha, illusion, ooh, 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 ha, illusion. And so, what I am doing right now, right, that you can choose to join if you want to, if you feel like it would benefit you and your life, then I invite you to join. I would be more than excited for you to join the whole plant medicine quest. Pom pom. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum. Which is about, okay, so let me tell you about how it started. It started with me searching for all of the answers. I was like, I want to know it all, okay? And it almost drove me out of this world. It almost took me on a trip out to the wilderness, to a point of no return. I was ready to delete everything, thinking that I was separate from everything. I could be separate from everything somehow, trying to learn about everything, like the irony of it all, okay? And during my questioning, I came across a video by Kenney where he talks about a lot of things, but some of the things that are relevant, mostly relevant to the whole plant medicine quest, is that to heal a human body, a human being, and to restore all the natural aligning, resonancing parts of what it is to be a natural human, you'd have to eat pure, natural, whole foods, fertile fruits, vegetables, of course seeds, nuts, but in a particular way. I started looking into like hybrid foods. Apparently some fruits are hybrids and some foods are purely natural. But it's like, as I was reading and learning all of this, I was like, but everything is part of the evolution of creation, and because everything stems from the natural, even playing with the science of it, it's still gonna have an element of natural in it. Because I feel like every creation carries the seed of its creator. So how I see it is, you have choice. We have choice. We can choose to eat exactly what we want. We can choose to do with our lives exactly what we want, and it's gonna have its own effects. Every path leads somewhere, right? And so, because I look around, like right here, right now, there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of science, and I've blended in a lot of nature, and of course everything has an element of nature within it because it exists within this universe. So growing up, so whole plant medicine is about healing from within, and through saying that I was only going to eat raw, like I started doing all this research about amino acids, about natural fruits, and I ended up feeling like I wanted to only eat dates, natural organic dates, Himalayan salt with water for the alkalinity. I'm sure you've heard about Dr. Sebi. And apples, organic, and cucumber, organic. Everything with seeds, except for the salt. And take care to wash it and all of that. I did all the research that I wanted to do, and I felt ready to start. I felt willing, I felt inspired, motivated, and I felt like I had found the cure to my disease. I felt like I had seen it in a moment, and I felt like I could heal it from seeing it in that moment. I did recognize that I was going to have to take steps, but I felt like, okay, this right now, I'm starting now. And so I went at it very aggressively and very stubbornly and expected my family to go along with it. I don't know if I've said it I think I've said it, but I live at home with my family. I help take care of my little sister. I help out in the house. I haven't been working for anyone. I haven't been creating my own independent stream of income. Hence why Patreon right now is in the making. And also relating with that is I didn't see my value, or I was so focused on seeing myself that I didn't see myself. I know it sounds the way it sounds, but it's real. I was seeing myself and measuring my value based on, I don't even know, yeah. But so I went really hardcore about it and expected my family to go along with it. And living in Norway, buying foods in itself isn't very cheap, but then organic costs a little bit extra. Honestly, looking at the prices, there's not that big of a difference. It's just that the quantity is very different. So instead of buying meat and rice and potatoes and like the standard diet that people consume, I was spending like 200 kroners on just apples and then 100 kroners on just dates. And so looking at what I'm eating, it costs more based on how much you're used to paying for apples, for instance. But the way I saw it was that if I'm going to eat less quantity, less different things to fill my body and make me feel full, I would rather spend more money on less, but in that less there's more quality, so it's feeding and nurturing my body in a more fulfilling way. So this is something that I'm going to be studying even more within the whole plant medicine quest that you can join through Patreon. I'm going to be sharing the information on my YouTube channel either way, but on Patreon there's going to be more personal. It's going to be more that you can join, or you can just observe depending on where you are in your own journey, who you are and who you want to be, where you want to be. And I have different things. I'm going to introduce Patreon in a different video. Right now I want to just focus on whole plant medicine. And so I began going really hard on what I wanted to eat, how I wanted to eat, and also because of that I didn't have as much energy to help out with my little sister, and I could really feel how much I had been sacrificing of my own time and energy trying to make up for the fact that I haven't been working and providing financial support to the house, not recognizing the emotional support that I provide, and just through helping out with my little sister, if we're just gonna put it into one thing. And I think that what makes it difficult what made it difficult for me was I felt like it's very hard to put a price on something that isn't physically there and tangible, like, you know what I mean? So I got really frustrated and really angry and bitter, and but it was beautiful and it was necessary, because it forced me to have conversations with my family or especially with my mom, that I had been like avoiding and pretending like weren't necessary. And what also happened, actually, because I was eating less heavy, dense foods that provide kind of, I don't want to call it artificial energy, because everything is everything at the end of the day. So I feel like that's why I want to put emphasis on that everyone has choice, and whole plant medicine is about choice. It's about taking informed decisions for yourself, with yourself. And yeah, like I would love to have access to a lab to actually research and see for myself and record it and share it, how the body really works, how DNA looks and the effects on the DNA from what I'm eating. So I'll be researching and see if there's any lab that I can get in contact with. I already tried to see here in Norway, but there's like no options for you who, like, if you're interested yourself. Then there's the option of going to school, going through all that entire system. But then I'm like, okay, so how am I gonna get to a point where I'm actually creating, or where I have enough money to host my own lab and host my own kind of research, which again leads me to the purpose of all of this, which is self-unity, the creation and holding the space for a self-educating community. And the reason for that is because I can imagine a future where there is access to a lab for children, for the old and the young, for anyone to investigate themselves and to combine ancient wisdom with modern technologies being the child, that energy of the Western world that wants to explore and create and doesn't have as much respect for the nature as ancient people would do, like Africans who have more of that elderly energy of wisdom, of knowing that everything is exactly where it needs to be, and upholding those walls that have already been created, but also providing space for the child to explore and to mess up and to figure it out, and through that contrast creating new creations, and moving forward, evolving, you know? The way I see it, this is intuitive learning with CC, yo girl, let's go. I feel like what the Western society, or let's just say we have white, my father is white, black, my mother is black, okay? Hence the fascination for the current subject I'm about to share with you. You are loved and appreciated, and until next time, I'm gonna remember that I am life and I have room for growth. I'm done trying to be perfect, okay? Just be the best I can be. That's all I need. That's all I need. La, la, la.